We are talking about solving quadratic equations by completing the square, and we want to write the quadratic function in vertex form. So write the quadratic function in vertex form, then identify the vertex. We're going to do the same thing that we have done in the past, and we want to use the process of completing the square in order to figure out the vertex form. So in this case, we have f of x equals x squared plus 8x plus 95. So we're going to assume that this left side is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to x squared plus 18x plus 95. And then what we do is we want to get rid of the c value. So we subtract 95 from both sides of the equation. And we get negative 95 is equal to x squared plus 18x. And then we have to come up with what our new c value is going to be. So we're going to add a c value to the, in this case, the right side. We also have to add that same c value to the left side. In order to figure out what that c value is, we do the same thing that we've been doing. And we take our b value and divide it by 2 and square it. So c is going to be equal to the b value divided by 2 and then squared. In this case, our b value is 18. So it's the a value and the b value. 18 divided by 2, that's equal to 9. And that's equal to 81. So in this case, we're going to add 81 to both sides of the equation. And then we can rewrite this right here to our squared binomial. So 81 minus 95 is negative 14. And then that's going to be equal to we got to write it as our binomial, which in this case, the only thing that's going to get us x squared is going to be x and x. And then this value here, whatever we're squared, that's going to be the value that we substituted in here into our binomial. So now we get negative 14 is equal to x plus 9 quantity squared. And now we're not trying to solve this. In this case, what we're trying to do is get the vertex form. And the vertex form, remember, is we're trying to get this binomial, and then we're trying to figure out the y value of the vertex form. So in order to do that, we want to get the left side equal to 0 again. So in order to get the left side equal to 0, we're going to add 14 to both sides. And that's going to give us, in this case, we don't have anything left, so we can represent it with our variable, which is going to be y is equal to x plus 9 quantity squared plus 14. That is in our vertex form. We can write our vertex form right underneath it. So we have y equals a times x minus h quantity squared plus k. And so now we have to figure out what our vertex is going to be just from the equation. So our k value is the y value of our vertex, and that's straightforward. So our vertex is going to be 14. But our x value is backwards because of that negative sign right there. So we have a positive 9, but it's actually backwards. So what's backwards or opposite of positive 9? That's negative 9. So there's the vertex, and here's the equation in vertex form. And we look at example 11. Same, want to go through the same process. So I'm going to rewrite this and say on the left-hand side we have 0. So 0 is equal to x squared minus 4x minus 1. We want to get rid of that c value, so we add 1 to both sides. And then we get 1 is equal to x squared minus 4x. But we're going to add some c value to both sides of the equation. And the way that we figure out that c value is we say c is equal to the b value divided by 2 squared. So in this case, the b value is -4. -4 divided by 2 is -2 squared, which is equal to 4. So we're going to add 4 to the right, and we're going to add 4 to the left. Now we can rewrite our equation. 4 plus 1 is 5. X times x is x squared, and then our -2 value is the value, that value that we're going to square. That's the value that goes in to our perfect square binomial. Now we can rewrite it as 5 is equal to our perfect square binomial. And we want to get 0 on this side, so we subtract 5 from both sides of the equation. And we get y is equal to the quantity x minus 2 squared minus 5. And this is still the vertex form right here, where hk is the vertex. So our k value is going to be straightforward what our y value of the vertex is. In this case, it's -5. In our h value, remember, is backwards from what we see in this equation. So we see -2, so really that means +2. So we substitute it in a +2. And that is the vertex form right there. Or that's the vertex, and then this is the equation in vertex form.